In this and the next two following videos, I'm going to give you as much information as I can about the drawing mode in Solidworks, because at the end of your journey, once you're done with your modeling and it's about to manufacture it or document it at work, you need to go to this less sexy mode of Solidworks, which is drawing, but I'm gonna make it sexy. I'm gonna give you a lot of good tips that you can use in your advantage to shine at work, create templates, save time, and actually define the frameworks for your peers and colleagues. So buckle up, because this is the first video of the 3 mini series that I have prepared for the drawing mode in Solidworks. Okay, this is chaptered. If you know some subject, you may skip it. If don't, stay around, because all these information that I have prepared and sequentialized for you, and they're going to be very useful. Let's go. Hi there, just a quick pause. The reason I made these 3 episodes is to lay down a strong and solid foundation in Solidworks drawings for you, because I want to introduce GD&T to you. GD&T stands for geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, and it's been the secret sauce of the big manufacturing companies since the late 1950s, and its importance is only growing. It's not just a technique, it's your ticket to standing out. So before we dive deeper into these episodes, do one thing for your future self. Click on the link in the description below this video. Go save your spot for October 5th when I host a 1-hour free GD&T training for you. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Go register so we can get back to these videos and make you prepared for GD&T. This is the first video, which is introduction and basic drawing tools. In the next video, part 2, we go to sheet formatting and templates, which is very useful in case you want to create a unique format for your department or company and become the go-to guy. And in the third video, we talk about the advanced features and symbols, just like the ones you're seeing about GD&T, maybe surface finish or weldment symbols and so on and so forth. But for the first video, which is the introduction and basic drawings, we want to start by pressing Ctrl N on the keyboard. If you see this, you're looking at the novice mode, which you see only one drawing, and if you go to advanced mode, you will see every template that you have saved. I'm going to double click on drawing, and as you can see, I have something here, and it's because I have already saved my template with something on it, which is not ideal, but we will fix it in part 2 of this mini series. Okay, for now, we want to learn step by step, very slow, very basic, no rush, how to import a component in your drawing sheet. On the right, we will have this side menu. When you go to this icon, which if you move your mouse cursor on it, you will see it's called view palette. Over here, you can browse for the components. Let's just bring this one. And when I select the component, I will see all the standard views plus isometric, diametric, trimetric, and the current view. I will talk about the current view and how you can use it in your advantage. For now, we want to either follow the third angle, which is the American standard, or the first angle, which is the rest of the world. And that depends on your location and what standard you want to follow. There are different ways to do this. In this case, I just want to do it quite random. I want to drop the front view. Unfortunately, our front view was drawn on a random plate. I move my mouse to select the second view. Top view and bottom view are the same, and this is the back view. We don't want it. In fact, I don't even want the front view. I just want this side. And apparently this is too small for my drawing sheet. It would be okay if it was a little bit larger. How do we fix this? We would go to sheet 1, because we are talking about sheet 1, and as you can see on the bottom left corner we have sheet 1. Right click on sheet 1 and go to properties. When you do this, first of all, you will see the type of projection. As I said, third angle is for the US, first angle is for the rest of the world. Do it as you must, and you can see the scale of the drawing sheet is 1:2. That's the default scale of my sheet, which was saved in the template file. It means whatever I import in my drawing sheet right now, it's going to be with the scale of 1:2. There are ways to change it, but for now, I'm going to change this to 1:1, apply changes, and you see there is no change here. If I bring it again, the next one would follow order, but the original one doesn't. What do we do? Do we delete this and import it again? No. All we have to do is to click on it, go to the property manager, use sheet scale, which is 1:1, and we just change it, and it would follow order. So let's just click OK. Now, so far, we realized we could just drag and drop any view that we want. We could change its scale. For example, this one, I'm going to click on it, change its scale to 1:2, and maybe even change the display style to shaded with edge, like this. Maybe it helps our manufacturer or the inspector to grasp an idea of the 3D form of the part that we are putting on this drawing sheet. If you have room on your drawing sheet, it's always a good idea, especially when your component is complex. If it's a cylinder, then then maybe not. But for something a little bit more complex, if you have room, just add some sort of a 3D view with shaded edges. You could even change the quality of the lines and leave it there. So we will do that. By the way, before I continue, I wanted to also teach you that you could import more than one different component into one drawing sheet. I have just selected a different component. Now I can drag a second component into the drawing sheet. As you can see, there are two different components and I can deal with them in one go if needs be. Right now, we don't want to do that. It was just to show you that it is possible. So let's get rid of this. Now I want to take a look at the cross section of this view, which I can find this tool, section view, inside the drawing tab. It's a very easy tool. Before I select it, I have 4 different cutting lines, horizontal, vertical, manual ones. And as you can see, 2-point selection and 3-point selection. I will cover these two in a second, but let's just go with this one. It has a magnetic effect. As you can see, it does jump to center points or any point that does make sense. In this case, I want to leave it on the center point and move it to the left. But I want to flip the direction. The direction is not what I want. So we would just flip it. Click on that, flip direction, boom, it's done. One issue is this is my very first cross section and by default should be section AA, not CC. So why is it CC? Remember when I did this a couple of minutes ago, it was set on C, I believe. Now it's back to D. It should have been on A, but it's too late now. So what we do is double click on C, make it A, and everything will be okay. And from the next one, take care of this. Make sure you're following the alphabetic in order. Otherwise, if you start with C and your drawing is too crowded, people would have a hard time looking for the A section and the B cross section, and since they don't exist, it would be super confusing. Pay attention to these details, okay? And while we're at it, we're gonna go to the annotation tab, find the center line, select the center line over here and here, because we have one through-hole opening here and the center line just defines that this is a cylindrical opening, just like this one on the top and this one on the bottom. As you can see, there are holes around here, but the one on the bottom did not get it, so I'm going to repeat that. And on top of this, I don't want to have these because of the curves. I don't need this to be there because there are no openings, it's just a curve. So I select them, press delete on the keyboard, and they're gone. So that's that. This was the cross section that I need, but for the sake of the argument, let's just do a couple of more cross sections. Back to the drawing tab, section view. Well, the horizontal one is the same. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm just not going to click that. Press escape to get rid of it, but the line for that still remains here. Select it, press delete. Let's just take care of this one. 1, 2, 3. So let's just select the first point here, the second point there, and the third point there. Now I'm getting the cross section of this bit. This is a broken cross section for complex drawings where the symmetry does not exist and you may want to display the cross section of a component that is not symmetrical. You might want to use this, right? We don't want to do that now. Get rid of it and move this back. I still see 2 lines here that don't move with this. I think it's a graphical error because I can select it here, but not here. Definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this does not go away. Hardware issue. One other thing. This cross section is a child feature of this view. Why? Because I can move this to right and left, but not up and down. But in this case, I can move this right to left, up and down, because this is the parent view and it's free to move all over the drawing. But whatever that is derived from this view will be aligned to this one way or another, unless I break the alignment. And I can do that by right clicking here, going to alignment and break alignment. When I do that, I can move this regardless of that. It breaks the standard procedure of creating a 2D drawing, but you need to learn how to assign and break alignment. So let's just assign it again. Right click, alignment by center, horizontal, this one and this one. Boom, back to where it was, only right and left, and we can adjust it like that. So we just covered how to import one part or more parts in the drawing, first angle, third angle, and the cross-section view. Let's just continue by teaching you how to add an extra sheet to your drawing. We haven't started with anything yet. These are just useful information you need to have, because if you're working on a big project that has a lot of dimensions or even components, you may need to work on multiple sheets than one. Otherwise, you don't have enough room. So down here, just select sheet number 2. You can add sheet number 2, and down here automatically we have sheet 2 of 2, and on this one we have 1 of 1. Error. The default template of the sheet was wrong. It should have been sheet 1 of 2, and we will be fixing this in the next video where we talk about sheet formatting and templates. For now, just leave it. This is only how to add a sheet format. You can also do it by right-clicking here and add sheet right here. You can do that. Again, if I change the display style of the parent view, the child will follow order unless I select the child separately and just manually change that. This is also something you should know. If you change the child feature, it only applies the changes to the child feature. If you change the parent, it applies it to both parent and the child. So you need to know what level you are applying the change to. There are some tools that you need to know in the drawing tab, just like the detail view. Create a detail view here. This is detail A. Unfortunately, it changed to B. Template issue, again, next video. If you want to change it, double click, change it to B because we have section AA. And I don't like this format, so we change it to leader. It looks better in my opinion. So this is detail B, scale 2 to 1. If you want to change the scale, right click on it, custom scale, or you want to choose the parent scale, which follows this view because we got the detail view on this view, or the sheet scale, which is 1 to 1, or the custom scale, which was 2 to 1. Usually it's better to go custom because we want to have a more detailed look at this small point. That's why we increase the scale on this view. By the way, if you want to see the hidden lines, you have to change the display style right here. In this case, I don't want to see them. Not necessary, so I would turn it off. And next, obviously, very obviously, is to assign dimensions because that's what we are here to do mainly. We want to send this to the manufacturer or we want to document this, so we need to know the dimensions on this. There are two ways to do this. Either we go to the annotation tab, we pick out the smart dimension and it just assign the dimensions just like in the part mode with some minor appearance changes, or we could do it automatically if we have created our model right. If we haven't, it's better to do it manually, believe me. The automatic way would be again inside the annotation tab, but instead of the smart dimension, we pick model items and we select this icon as well because we want to assign all the possible dimensions, and we click OK. Either we select the view that we want to assign the dimensions on like this, or we just leave it open to assign it to all. In this case, I select it and it just gives me all the dimensions used to create this drawing. As you can see, it's very dirty. It's not very clean. So you need to clean this up. For example, I don't even see what's going on here. What is this? There's an angle here and then there is a dimension here and they are all inside each other. And believe me, a lot of times these dimensions, some of them are completely unnecessary or random. In this case, we have an example 10. From what to what 10? Probably there was a plane when I was modeling this. It is the distance from that plane to this. So this is only confusing. Has to go. This is the difficult part with auto dimensioning. It just gives you everything and anything, and a lot of them not only are not necessary, but they are worse and they are confusing. So you don't want to dimension, for example, the center of this hole to center of the center hole. Maybe you don't want to see this 43, so you get rid of it. That's how the auto dimensioning works, by the way. Not an easy one, but you should know. It's not bad. Maybe it saved me a couple of minutes and I just have to clean this up a bit. That's the way to do this. Now, I want to delete these auto dimensions by selecting everything. They're on the top level, so if I press delete, I only get rid of the top level. If I do this again, I get rid of the part, which I don't want to. Now, I want to assign some dimensions, like 1 or 2, and tell you what else we can do here. From this line to this line, you see that? This half a circle? It just gives me the auto position of the dimension on the top or bottom. If I just move my mouse, zoom in, zoom out, that auto dimensioning goes away. So I can either press escape to bring it back. What's going on? Okay, press escape and do it again. Like that, top or bottom. And if we are talking about something that has more than 2 positions, like a diameter, we have 4 positions, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can just place it here. Or if you want a different view, we just move our mouse and we place it like this, or like this. So there are different ways to assign the dimensions to your model. Let's just go back to what we wanted to do. I'm going to assign a dimension manually, put it here and leave it there. Once I do that, I cannot change the dimension. Okay, the dimension 41.2 is being taken from the actual size of the model inside the part mode. And if you don't want this value has to change. All you have to do is to click on your part one time and click on this option, open part. Once you do that, You see the part and you can see 41.2 is here. You want to change that to 42, then boom, rebuild it, save it. And once you go back to the drawing mode, that dimension is now changed to 42. When I click on this dimension, I will see a pop-up here. And when I move my mouse on it, it just opens a window with a bunch of options in it. 42 is the value. There are 4 fields on the top, right, bottom, and left side of it, which I can just type anything. For example, I have 2 of these and whatever. So there are places to write around your dimension. So there are options here. For example, if your dimension needs to be inspected upon arrival at your facility because you send your drawing to the manufacturer, they manufacture the part, they send it back, and there is an incoming good inspection, or the quality control department or whatever department you have to measure the components, you can just select the dimensions that need to be measured with an oval line around it, and that's where you can define this. If you have a dimension on repeat, for example, if you have your diameter here already shown and you add it again on this view, it's a duplicate. You don't have to have it twice. So in this case, I'm just gonna put this inside parentheses so you know it has already been mentioned. It's only for reference. It's the same thing. So there are different options that you can do, but it's not all. The best thing and the most important thing is the tolerances and the fit type that you can assign to your dimension. When you select the tolerances, on default we have none. We can go to basic, bilateral, limit, symmetric, min, max, 3 different types of fits. And let me just show you. The basic, what does it give you? It just gives you the nominal value. It just gives this away. This is the nominal value 42. Now let's just add tolerance of bilateral, that is plus, let's just say 1 and minus something else, 0.05. So this is our tolerance. The value is 42, acceptable from 41.95 to 42.1. This is the bilateral, or if you want to do symmetric, which is equal from top and bottom, plus minus 0.01, or we could do mean and max, minimum 41, maximum 41, or limit. Limit is the value I just told you. You could show it like this. It's just like bilateral, but it has already added the value, so people manufacturing this don't have to sit down and do the math. They already see that. If it's between these 2 values, it's okay. So this is how you assign a tolerance. And I told you I would tell you something about the current view, which is this. This is the current view. If I move the current view to something like this and rebuild this by clicking on this icon, move back, I would see the current view changes. Then it was not the current view. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go to the current. That's the current view of the wrong component. We went to example 2. This is the current view, right? If you have a component that is a little bit odd in geometry and you want to show it in a certain angle, you could work with the current, go back to the part mode, change your current, and let's just make it like something odd. Rebuild, go back, and this is your rebuild again. This will change. Didn't. Now it changed. Okay, took a while. I was surprised why it's not changing, but this is the new current view. So this is also useful to know. You see, sometimes it also surprises me. Be patient. Just press Control B or Control Q on your keyboard to rebuild it. It refreshes everything and syncs the part mode and the drawing mode together, and just work with that. All right, guys, just to recap, we learned how to import components, 1 or more than 1. We realized how to change the first angle, third angle, and the scale on the component. We learned that the cross-section view was on the drawing tab. We covered that. Detailed view. These are deeper. There are more options that I can talk about. You just saw what I did with the leader of this. There are menus to customize this, no line, with line. We will move on from this. I don't want to go into those details. Those are inside my course already. And view edge, we just did this. Display style, shaded with edge or hidden lines. One more thing that I want to cover is auto dimensioning. We covered that. It was here. Center line and center mark. It was already here. Center mark, we see that these plus signs are the center mark for the circle, for the holes. Okay, 3 more things I want to cover quickly. One is the note, which you can just find inside the annotation tab. You can just type whatever you want for 45 degrees chamfers, for example. This is the note function that you can have. The other one is called the format painter. It's very useful. For example, we have more than 1 dimensions here, and we want to assign the same tolerances to all of them. And we don't want to just go selected one by one on each drawing. It takes a long time. Imagine we have done this once and the tolerance is symmetric in this case, or even whatever. Let's just leave it at limit. What we do is we go to Format Painter, we select the first one we want to copy the format from, then we select the other dimensions, and it just assigns that to those dimensions very quickly. Now every dimension is following the same format as the first one we selected. This is called the Format Painter. This is also a very useful tool. And lastly, a lot of times I have been working on super long components that do not fit on the drawing sheet. For example, if you are designing a catheter with the, let's just do that. When you're in the medical device industry, sometimes you have to work on catheters. Let's just say we have a catheter with outer diameter of 2 millimeters and length of 2000 millimeters. So look at the ratio of this component. This is it. This is so long. And when I go to file and make a drawing from this component, first I have to save it, obviously, you will see I will have an issue. And the issue is that it does not fit inside the drawing. Either it's so small, the scale is what, 1 to 20? No, I want to have it actually 1 to 1 or maybe 10 to 1 because I want to see the thickness of the sheet. But this is my component, it does not fit. In this case, we have to go to the drawing tab and work with break view. Select the drawing mode and then do this. Vertical, first of all. We want to make a cut here and a cut there. Now look at this. Now we have seen the whole component with the break view. We could also change the length of this. And when I assign the dimension, I still get the 2000 here. Look, it gives me the 2000 with the symbol of the break view, and it does fit inside the drawing sheet. So break view is the tool you need to fit the super lengthy, super oversized component inside your drawing without changing the dimension. So we also learned this, which is useful. And at this point, I'm just gonna leave this video and move on to the next video where we cover edit sheet format and save templates, which is much more important when it comes to working inside the drawing form in SolidWorks. For example, this table that you see here, it's something that I had made for this video. I could assign a lot of automation to this, which I will cover in the next video. There is a deeper level to drawing mode in SolidWorks, and it goes all the way to the art of tolerancing and GD&T, which is my next course which is out, and I will cover everything you need to know step by step in videos that are extremely longer than this. This is only 20 minutes or so. Over there we have hours. You have time to go through it because you need to learn it. These are useful stuff that you can use in your advantage at work to leverage it for your promotion, money, or else status maybe, but you need to learn it. I'm gonna put the link to GD&T course. Go check him out if you're serious, and I think you are because you have watched this video to this point. According to my YouTube retention rate, probably 60% of the people who were watching this in the beginning of this video are gone. And if you belong to the last 30%, I'm talking to you. You are the serious one. You are the one who's supposed to learn this. Go check it out. I have put the link for you. All right. Hi there, SolidWorks lovers and enthusiasts. I have some exciting news for you because I'm launching a comprehensive course on GD&T on October 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And you don't want to miss it because to kick things off, I'm also hosting a 1-hour free class at the very same time. And in order to not miss that, you have to sign up through the link below this video. Go sign up now so we notify you just before we go live. You don't want to miss this free class. It's a comprehensive course on GD&T and it would be pure value for you. If you have watched this video, this mini series about drawing, you don't want to miss GD&T. Trust me, it's free and it's on October 5th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go sign up now. I'll see you there.